Hi, I'm Lori and I love books, and today I'm trying to go through my complete physical TBR to see where I'm at and where to go. I'm hoping to separate them into six piles: poetry, fiction, children's books, picture books, nonfiction, spiritual together, cat books, and Alice in Wonderland books. And the key is here. So I've already sorted the ones from my recent book haul, and I do not need to buy more books, but I want to buy more books, but that's not the solution to my problems. So the first one is The Hippo at the End of the Hall by Helen Cooper. So this is a fiction book. I'm hoping to read that soon. Our Cricket Hearts, a novel, another fiction. The Witch's Boy. This is the same author that wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and that's why I wanted to read this book, by Kelly Barnhill. So I'm hoping that's a this year book. And then some of these are really old. So if you've been watching my channel since the beginning, you'll have seen some of these from a long time ago. But this one is, I think, from one of my subscription boxes. Something Close to Magic by Emma Mills. So I don't really know anything about that, so I'm guessing fiction. This is the one I really need to read, because I got this, oh, there's lots of stuff falling out, when I was first starting my channel. And that's The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. And it's a huge book. That's why I haven't read it yet, it's because it's so huge. So, well, another one I'm hoping to get through this year. True Devotion to Mary with Preparation for Total Consecration by St. Louis de Montfort. So hopefully that will be one soon. Maybe I should have had a fairy section. Okay, maybe I'll make another pile of fairies. The Book of Fairy Spells by Sherilyn Darcy. So I'll start a fairy book pile too. The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Deffenbaugh. So that's just fiction. This Vicious Grace by Emily Feed. Another one from one of my book subscription boxes. The Future by Naomi Alderman. A lot of these I don't know anything about because they came in subscription boxes and I get them and then I don't read them and then they pile up and then I'm like, well, I should probably let go of one of my subscription boxes, but then I'm like, I like them so much, I like the surprise, but we'll try to read these, let go of them, and then not accumulate so much in the future is the plan. The Storyteller's Daughter by Victoria McCombs. Another one from a long time ago that I got. The Path of Celtic Prayer, An Ancient Way to Everyday Joy by Calvin Miller. And this one's a little bit more new. Alice in Winter Wonderland, illustrations by Michael O. Sanders. Janet Allard and Michael Bigelow Dixon were the authors. So that'll probably be a this year or next year book. The Obake Code by Makana Yamamoto. Another one from one of my subscription boxes. White City, or The White City, by Grace Hitchcock. I tried reading this a few years ago for one of my TBRs that I was doing rainbow colors with and never got to it. This one I wanted to read last year, but then I got anxious because I didn't want it to be a disappointment, so then I didn't read it. But maybe this year, maybe for fall this year. Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley. A classic, but hopefully this year. This one is another Alice book. Steam Tales, Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll, the children's classic with 20 hands-on STEAM projects. So that one I will probably include in a Wonderland Reads at some point. This one's another newer one. The Way of the Wildflower Gospel Meditations to Embroider in Your Anxious Soul. I just loved the cover, so then I got it. Another Alice book. I don't, like, I'm starting to wonder if I shouldn't read every edition of Alice in Wonderland I have, but I do enjoy rereading it again and again and again. So Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll, illustrated by John Tenniel. So these are the original illustrations, and then this is published by Sterling Children's Book, and it's a cloth cover, so that's one of the reasons I got it, was because it was so pretty with the cover. The kitty is here. She's like wandering around the piles. So 2 more Alice books. Alice in a Winter Wonderland. And so I'm hoping to get to that later today, and I mixed up my pile. And then the Duchess of Whimsy, another one for the Alice in Wonderland pile, even though it's not, it might not have anything to do with Alice in Wonderland, but it has a Duchess, and Alice in Wonderland has a Duchess, so maybe connected. Okay, so the piles are getting smaller of the ones I haven't gone through, and the fiction pile is like the biggest pile I have, so no surprise there. This one was another recent one, Safe in the Shepherd's Arms, Hope and Encouragement from Psalm 23 by Max Lucado. This one is The Grand Canyon Trail of Time Companion, Geological Essentials for Your Canyon Adventure. And I did walk at one year. I went to vacation at the Grand Canyon, and I walked the whole trail and saw all the rocks of the different geological levels. And so now I have the book to go through it, and I might do that again because it was a pleasant walk, but it was a little too hot that day. So I either want to start earlier in the day or maybe later in the year. So a nonfiction book that I'm hoping to get to. This one is one I want to get to quickly. 33 Days to Morning Glory, a do-it-yourself retreat in preparation for Marian consecration. This one is another one I've had for a long time. Lillian Sabbath Essentials, Yule Rituals, Recipes, and Lore for the Winter Solstice. And I know there's more books in, like, it's not really a series, but I think it goes through the different solstices. So, this is another one I really should read. These two are other ones I really want to read. So I got a Folio Society. The Little White Horse, another favorite book of mine. And let's see. So it's got a map of Moonacre. And then color illustrations. And this is just one of those books I found and I loved. I saw the movie first because it had Tim Burton in it. No, that's not the right Tim. There's so many Tims. Let's see. I can't remember. I'm sorry. My memory is just not the best anymore. I'll probably remember it after I'm done recording. Oh, that was the one. And it might not even be a Tim at this point. I don't know. And then this is the sequel. That's written by a different author, I think. Yeah, it's written by a different author. And I don't usually like books that are sequels that aren't written by the original author. They usually don't think they hold up, but I was willing to try this. And this is The Silver Moth by Carol Lefevre? I'm so sorry. Names are also not something I'm really good at right now. Pests and Other Friends, Discover the True Nature of the Most Maligned Animals by Halsey Berryman. Another book I got because of the cover, and just it sounded very interesting. I'm expecting to really like learning more about the different animals. Oh, and it's got in pages. But it does have kind of odd artwork throughout, like comic book-esque artwork is what I would consider that. But that I think will go in nonfiction. The Other Valley, a novel by Scott Alexander Howard. It's supposed to be one of the Washington Post's 50 most notable works of fiction from 2024, so it's a newer book. I usually don't read new books too much. Some of these I don't even recognize. The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. So, like, the ones I don't recognize are probably from subscription boxes, but I can't even guarantee that's what it is. Marvelous, Molly Greeley. At least I like the cover of this one. Another one from one of my subscription boxes, Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. I probably should let go of some of these. I think that might be a goal, that if I don't read them in like the next 3 years, then I'll let go of them. But I'm not ready to let go of them right now. This one is The Secret of the Rosary. This one I got because of the sprayed edges and the cover's cloth, and it's Heidi by Johanna Spyri. I have read Heidi before, but I didn't have a really pretty hardcover edition. Okay, and pages are just blue, so, and then the illustrations are black and white. So this might be a read and then let go of. Another Alice in Wonderland book. This one is pink cloth cover, showing Alice with the Red Queen. And this edition is, I got it used. I can see that from the little thing. And this is a Canterbury Classic. And then it has a little ribbon. Nice little place I could put my name. And then the John Tenniel artwork, but with color added. So that'll be good. And then this one I got used as well, and it's King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, edited by Cindy Lanier, illustrated by Florian, and it's the Illustrated Junior Library Edition. So it came in a box, which I think are really nice, and then the hardcover. The kitty went to sleep on the bed, so she's being super cute. The end pages, some black and white illustrations in the, as well as colored plates throughout the book. So I have never read King Arthur. I've watched lots of movies about King Arthur, but I've never read King Arthur. So that's another one I hope to get to. This I got from my Children's Classics subscription I used to get, and that's The Beautiful and the Damned and Other Stories by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I don't really like the cover, but I wanted to read it at least once. That might be one that I don't get to in the next 3 years and then let go of. These ones are Alice books, Red Queen, The Chronicles of Alice by Christina Henry, The Clockwork Alice. This was one I had wanted to read, wanted to read it this year, and that's by Deanna Knipling, and I think the cover is gorgeous. This one is Lewis Carroll as I Knew Him. It's Bauman with a new introduction by Morton and Cohen. And this is a Dover book. Okay. I might have to make this 2 parts. There's still 2 huge piles over there. And half a pile like I'm getting right now. Another Alice book. Okay, and then this is by... Okay, so there's Alice and then The Red Queen by Christina Henry. So I think maybe one's the first book and one's the sequel, but I got them a long time ago and haven't read them yet. This one I got used, and it's the Royal Box. It's just a red cover. It might have come with something else, and it's by Francis Parkinson Keyes. So, another book I don't know much about, but I thought I'd give it a try, and I still haven't read it. This one is The Scarlet Pimpernel, which sounded familiar, but I don't. I thought it sounded familiar, and it's a classic, so I wanted to read it. And it's by Baroness Orczy. And, nope, I don't see any pictures. I think it's just all text. I should order these in, like, a chronological order of what to read. I don't think I will, but I should. This is Shadow of the Storm, Out from Egypt 2. So I think it's the second book. So maybe I don't have the first one and then I let it go. So this might be one to let go of. And it's by Connell Cosette. And a lot of these I got from a subscription box I used to have. A Woman with Words by Angela Hunt. And it says 3 Jerusalem Road. So I might have to look into these books to see if they are sequels or part of a series. And if they're part of a series that I don't have all the books of, then I will probably let go of them. This one's Paul, Apostle of Christ by Angela Hunt. And then the last one of this pile is She Walked Before Us, Grace, Courage, and Strength from 12 Women of the Old Testament by Jill Elling Smith. And I did enjoy that subscription box, but like all subscription boxes get like a little much after a while. But then I don't want to let go of them. Okay, I think we will make this 2-parter. So let me get through a couple more Alice ones, and then so this, I think I have one more book of this series. So this is the Looking Glass Wars by Frank Fedor. So I have that one, I have Seeing Red, and then a graphic novel, a header, The Looking Glass Wars Volume 1, and I think I have another book by that author, but I don't know where it is, and even these piles that I have over here might not be all the books on my physical TBR. And these are more recent, Twisted Wonderland, books 1 and 2. Oh, I have it upside down. Okay, let me try again. Okay, 1 and 2. And then these are Book of Hearts Labial, which I'm still not sure about that pronunciation. And then some of these are more recent. Gran by Adam Danielski, and that's a biography on the Cheshire Cat. The Wingfeather Saga, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness, Book 1, another one that I is a series that I should probably not be getting into, but I want to get into. Laws of Witchcraft, The Uncensored Memoirs of a Book Hunter, C.J. Archer. This one I got in a recent subscription box. Okay. We might try to do all of these today. Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. By the Super Scoop Storyteller. And yeah, Super Scope. Not Super Scoop. And this is from 1976. This is Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne Jones. I wanted to read this one, and then I also want to get the Folio Society edition. And then this is by HarperCollins Children's Books. So, very nice edition. And then that's the cover, hardcover, and then the end pages, and then the stars shooting down for the sprayed edges. And just a couple little black and white, like, illustrations at the top of each chapter is what I'm seeing inside the book. But yes, that's one I want to definitely read. The Complete Ghost Stories by Charles Dickens. This I got in my Children's Classics Club subscription box. This one I got from Target recently. Pocket Bear by Catherine Applegate. Okay, so most of the books I have are fiction books. Okay, let me bring them all over here. Oh. Okay, I thought I had brought them closer than that. Okay, so this was the other one that I think, yeah. So this was the first one, and then this is volume 2 of the Mad Hatter, Mad with Wonder. So I have 4 books in that series, so that'll probably be a series deep dive at some point. Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. The Very Real Worlds of Emily Adams. This, I think, is a sci-fi book. Utopia by Sir Thomas More. I think it's maybe what has inspired all the Hunger Game books and that sort of thing is what my understanding is, because it says it's one of the most influential books of the Western philosophical and literary tradition, and it's from 1560, was originally written. So another classic to get to. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I kind of know how the story is because of all the movies I've watched in the past, and so I'm hoping I'll like it as much as I like the mysterious case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That I'm not disappointed since I know how it ends. But I might be, and that if I'm not enjoying that book, that will be one I definitely DNF. This is another one I hope to get to soon, and that's the House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. The Prophetess, Deborah's Story by Jill Eileen Smith. And then a lot of these are by Connolly Cassette. Counted with the Stars, Out from Egypt 1. So I might have both books in that series. Between the Wild Branches, The Covenant House 2, and To Dwell Among the Cedars Covenant House one. So 1 and 2. So, I don't know if I'll actually read them or if I'll just hold on to them for a while and then let them go, because this is a huge pile of books I have. Another classic by Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days. I had this as part of a children's classics club I had over on Goodreads that I've now switched to Wonderland Reads, and I never actually read it, which I think that's pretty bad when you have a book on your book club and then you don't actually read it. But life got hard at that time, and I'm trying to rebuild now. Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I did like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but then when I tried to read another Jules Verne book, I wasn't getting into it, and I don't know if it was just the time or if he's just not the author for me. So we'll see. The Minuscule Mansion of Mira Malone by Audrey Burgess. Okay, something about a woman learning to expand her world and let love in. Oh, okay, and it does seem like it's a modern fiction book because she's blogging about her dollhouse mansion. I'm not sure. Like, that does not sound like something I would have picked out myself, but that's why we try books, is to see if we like them or not. And then this is by Angela Hunt, and it's Delilah, Treacherous Beauty. And so I'm hoping to get through some of these books this year, and then to read and let go. And then to only have enough TBR for a book cart, not all of them on my floor. So The Memory Collectors by Kim Neville. I got this in a book box, a subscription box, and I think it's, yeah, like one of them's like a psychic, I think, if I'm remembering right. And then I don't even recognize this one, and it's Bittersweet in the Hollow by Kate Purcell. And it says, secrets are seeds just waiting for the right conditions to sprout. The deeper you bury them, the stronger they grow. So, maybe. And then only a few left. And then Courageous. Oh, do I have 2 of these? I might have 2 of these. No, this looks different. Very similar to one of the books we saw earlier, but this is Courageous Women of the Bible, Leaving Behind Fear and Insecurity for a Life of Confidence and Freedom by Latin Roland Murphy. The Women Who Met Jesus, New Testament Stories of Lives Transformed by the Savior by Dorothy Val Sarcel. Namkara, Spiritual Wisdom from the Celtic World by John O'Donohue. Okay, 3 left. The King of Ireland's Son by Padraig Colum. The Odyssey by Homer. I kind of vaguely remember this from my college years, it being about Homer going on sailing the seas and encountering different creatures, but I could be completely wrong. And then the last book is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Madonna, and I got this for Christmas last year. So those are, I think, fingers crossed, I hope, all the books on my physical TBR. I'm planning on counting how many there are, and sorting them by, like, want to read now, want to read this year, and then future books. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And until next time, have a lovely time reading. Bye!